When it comes to postcards, I've become a bit of a collector. Some of them are for me, others for some unknown person in the future, but the rest are for specific people. My mom loves baseball and any other sports. My dad loves photography and nature. My sisters love quirky, beautiful photographs. My grandma loves Little Women and watercolors. My papa loves barns and historical postcards. Or at least these are the categories I have assigned for them. I started sending postcards after I moved 500 miles away from home. I was 17, just graduated from high school, afraid of the big wide world, and desperate not to be forgotten. I started writing to my mother first. The card would be filled with stories of my day, the drama at work, and the books I was reading. For 2 years, we sent them back and forth until someone read a rather unsavory take of themselves, and she was so angry that they read my mail, she didn't send me another one for months. I then asked my grandma at Christmas if she would like it if I sent some to her. In my first postcard to her, I tell her about the drive home and how much I loved Little Women. I then became worried my dad would have his feelings hurt, that he wasn't getting any cards, and so he started receiving them. The same thought process applied with my papa. Then, as each sister moved out of the house, I started including them in my roster of pen pals. Every Sunday, I would get out my pen to write up to 7 postcards or letters. I would talk about my week, what my roommates had done to annoy me, what music I was listening to, the amount of times I visited the library, all the little things people who see you every day know. I loved it. I loved collecting them and then picking out who would get each one every week. I loved going to antique malls, digging through boxes of postcards to find the perfect ones, the beautiful ones, the ones my family would be so happy to receive. When I would travel, I would bring my stamps with me and send them postcards. Yet, for the amount of postcards I've sent in the last 7 years, I've received less than 100 in that time frame. But my love for this form has never been about receiving postcards or having dedicated pen pals. It has been about reaching across state lines and reminding my family about me, about how much I love them, how I think about them, and hope they do the same. And while it started as a selfish reason, a desire to not be forgotten or ignored, it has turned into a meaningful one. I think about the text messages my dad sends me, meaningful responses to everything I've said in my note, the photo book that sits in our family room that my mother has collected all of my postcards in, the lovely text from my grandma after getting a card, always mentioning how much they love receiving them, the way my sisters have hung up or framed some of the postcards to put on their walls. So I will continue to send postcards to them, with no concern of receiving any, because what a postcard has always meant, and always will mean, is hey, I thought of you, and wanted to let you know.